So this is our annual user conference, but we also combine it with our partner conference. So we resell through system integrators, through value-added resellers, through ISVs, and they're here as well. They come with their customers, they come with our customers, and this is an event where not only do we train a lot of the people that work with our products, but really we come out with all of our new innovations over the year, and very importantly, our thoughts and our predictions on where both the data storage market is, but where the data market is going.
So where is the data market going?
Well, I think we're really at an interesting transition point. Tech every now and then, and over a period of decades, there are major architectural changes, right? And a major architectural change, for example, was the introduction of the internet. It completely changed the way IT was structured, right? Mobile was another one of these, right? Well, for the last 25 or 30 years, we've also been living in an app market. I mean, it was said, not too long ago that software was eating the world, right? And, well, what it really was applications were eating the world. Now, if you go back that 25 years, it really started in a way with enterprise resource planning, ERP, right? That was a big transformation, and everybody wanted to get all of their data, all of their processes into ERP, and it was going to be the one application that would run all of the corporation. Well, over the last 25 years, though, applications have multiplied tremendously. I mean, we're roughly a $4 billion company. We have almost 1,000 applications running in our IT environment. You get to larger companies, they have many thousands, if not tens of thousands, applications. So applications have grown tremendously. Well, the way that those applications work is they create data and they run off the data. And now every time you run another application, and AI, in a sense, or an AI agent is another application, analytics is another application, it gets its own version of data. And so data has fragmented during this entire environment, right? And part of the challenge for enterprises wanting to use AI, or actually even just wanting to run their business right now, is there's no single source of truth. There are all these applications that, let's take customer as an example. A customer relationship management, like a Salesforce, right? It has a definition of a customer. Well, guess what? The definition of the customer in the finance organization may be different. It's the person who pays the bills, not the person that makes a decision. And then the customer in your support organization is a different definition. It's the person who calls you with a problem, not necessarily the person who made the purchasing decision. And then you go to the shipping department, and the customer is who they ship to, which may be entirely different. So just that one example, but expand that over your products, your assets. Different systems have different definitions of exactly the same thing. So what happens when you feed that into AI? What's the source of truth? AI doesn't know. It interprets. It hallucinates. It doesn't hallucinate. It makes errors because the data is not consistent. And so, so this then is really setting up what we believe will be a new major transition in how IT is built. It's app-centric today.
Right.
The apps, the data wraps around the apps. It gets replicated by the apps, fragmented by the apps. We think that in the future, it's got to be data-centric. That data has to be primary, and the apps have to revolve around the single source of truth, which enterprises need to control, which is the data.
So what does that mean then for all these app-centric companies?
Yeah.
Like, how does that change really the structure that we've all been living on for the last few years, and that has created some behemoths in the tech world?
Well, let me describe it from the customer first, and then we'll go there. From the customer first, it means they need to take control of their data. Okay? They may still want to use the apps for what the apps do, which is workflow, right? They have just fantastic workflow. They understand that, how their users want to be able to use the environment, how they want to be able to interact with other systems. But right now, the apps are controlling the data. From the customer standpoint, that fragments how they operate. So if the customers now control the data, meaning they create sources of truth, and they also control the understanding of that data, then the apps will work off of the customer's data rather than owning your own.
This is going to be a major theme for us over the next 2 hours with the executives from Everpure who we talked to. Another major theme over the next 2 hours is going to be memory pricing.
Yes.
I mean, that is the fundamental backdrop and the fundamental question for your business and so many businesses.
Apple. Was it Apple that recently?
Apple yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, so Apple shares are higher because Tim Cook told the Wall Street Journal yesterday that they're raising prices. And analysts say, okay, well, people are going to actually pay more.
Yeah.
How are you guys navigating this environment?
Well, we've had to raise prices. So, it's the semiconductor manufacturers that are seeing this unbelievable demand, right, that has far outstripped the total semiconductor fab capacity of the entire world. Okay, and therefore, it's not only affected like the NVIDIA chips and the high performance memory and all of that,
right?
Because the semiconductor manufacturers have shifted their wafer starts to the more complex parts, the higher margin parts, it's also reduced capacity for the 10-cent parts. So everything has gone up. I got an email from like a supplier of small electronic equipment for a consumer, and they said, "Yeah, we have to raise our prices." The whole thing they sells for $50, and they have to raise their prices. So. We have to realize that it is a worldwide, a complete semiconductor situation. We're an equipment manufacturer. We buy semiconductors, we put it into equipment, wrap our software around it, and sell it. So in a sense, we're a middleman for this. So let's talk about what we've seen. Memory prices up almost a factor of 10. Storage chip prices up between 6 to 8x.
Wow.
This has happened in like 8 months. All right. I mean, it's not like, we're used to seeing things go up or down 10, even maybe in a really serious environment, 20% a quarter. This is 8x.
Great for a company like Micron, challenging for a company like you.
Challenging. Well, and frankly, I want to put the focus where it really should be is on the customers. All right. I mean, this has been really difficult, for our customers because not only are the prices higher, but you have to realize it's completely unmoored them because as an individual customer, if your price goes up by 100%,
you're blowing your budget.
You're blowing your budget. And also, is it a good price? Is it not a good price? How do I compare it? What do I compare it to? I don't know.
Right.
Well, there's no choice. They have to pay it.
And there's no choice. I mean, it's really put them in a very difficult position. So a decision we made in December was that we were going to raise prices slower. We were going to raise prices less, and we were going to share in the burden. So we made a conscious decision. We announced it at our Q4 call, and we've had our Q1 call now. We announced that we're going to operate at the lower end of our traditional gross margin range, where for years we had been operating at the high end, and we chose
to help out your customers.
To help our customers.
One thing, and unfortunately we have to wrap up, but just got about a minute or so left. Where do you think corporates are in terms of AI deployment based on your conversations that you're having with them? I mean, does AI storage demand eventually inflect like we've seen with cloud, or is the uptake kind of more measured, Charlie? Like, what are you hearing?
So one of the reasons why AI has grown so much in the cloud and why there are these gigawatt data centers being built is because the corporations are spending a ton of energy right now experimenting with AI. And if you're experimenting, you're going to the cloud because you don't know what the ROI is. You don't exactly know what is the specific application you're going to use it for that scales.
Right.
And so there's only been, I'd say, relatively small experimentation in traditional enterprise. Now, where there has been activity is in sovereign clouds, right? And sovereign clouds in even relatively small countries, as well as large countries, of course. In traditional areas of AI, such as healthcare, pharmaceutical, self-driving cars, automotive, big banks, hedge funds. That is certainly growing. I'd say traditional enterprise is holding back until they really find the breakthrough areas of AI that they know will scale.
The ROI?
The ROI.